This is Gokul welcoming you again in Business Doctor. Today we are going to see a discussion on two famous sports personalities, one in the field of cricket and another in the field of football. You might guess, yeah, probably you may be right. We are going to talk about Sachin Tendulkar and Diego Maradona. You may have to wait till the end of the session of this video to know why we are talking about these two sports players. First, let's talk about Sachin Tendulkar. Obviously, you know he's a batsman and he's one of the greatest batsmen, and he has got a lot of records. Like there are so many other players in the cricketing field. But why we are talking about Sachin Tendulkar and what is so special or unique about him? That's what we are going to focus on, not just per se his cricketing skills. If you really watch Sachin in the context of his batting, you can observe these five values he would display as part of his batsmanship. First, the way he bats, that is the position, the stance he has, and the body balance. We will come to why that is important in a second. So, the body balance, the position, and the stance at which he is batting. Second, his anticipation, how he is able to anticipate the next delivery from a bowler, and what all the things he is able to judge or use as a parameter to judge, and how he is able to manage the anticipation. Third, the diligence with which he has been playing cricket. The fourth one is shots, or the shot selection per se, when to use what shot at what point in time and how to do that. Then the fifth point which I would like you to know is his concentration in batting. If you take a small analogy of the cricketing field, every ball that is bowled at him is an opportunity, while fielders are probably the obstacles for scoring his runs, which is one of the objectives for which he is batting. The pitch is the field where he can bat, his running mate can bat, or any of his teammate can bat, and the opposition can also bowl. And there are a lot of fielders who are going to field the field, for the ball. Okay, so that's where how he is able to play his shots. Bat is the tool which he uses to score runs. That is his goal. And the other bodyguards like headgear, pads, gloves, etc., is to what of the risk associated with that game in achieving the goal. So if you really look at the values, the body balance, stance, and position, if you look at the value he exhibits is the confidence. So that confidence is not just he knows how to play every ball. It's not just that he knows he knows how to play every ball and also score runs whenever it is possible or needed. That is the mastery. That's where the confidence comes into picture. Which means that given any situation, because of his confidence, he is able to manage the bowler, the ball, and play, score runs, and accelerate the running rate if that is required. Now, when it comes to anticipation, He is able to gauge the situation, the way the fielders are placed, the how the player, the bowler is going to bowl at the batsman, and how he is able to hold the ball, whether he's a spinner, pacer, any kind of bowler. So he is able to anticipate, and because of his agility in batting, he is able to plan in advance, or rather, sometimes he forces the bowler to bowl the way he wanted. So that's the mastery, and that mastery is possible because he was able to anticipate. That is the from the business or personal sense, the maneuverability in which a person is able to play for the outcome. Diligence, of course, is he pretty much practices. He knows every ball how to play. Those are all the common things. But one of the things, if you have really noticed, is that he will be able to see the ball till either he hits or leaves or goes behind the stumps. So that's the power of eyesight. It's not just the eyesight. The idea behind when to say that the ball is over. So that's where the task completion, or when you say it is done, means it is done. Really, really. So that diligence, he has got that acumen. Okay. Of course, the master in the shot selection and techniques, that is obvious. That is possible because the technique. He has the knowledge of how to bat or how to face the ball, and also the skills required to hit when it is required for a 4 or a 6 or a single, or just play it. So the knowledge, the skill, and most of all these things is that he is able to combine the knowledge and the skill and apply it when it is required. The concentration is the one which he is able to see the goal when it is required. When there is an opportunity to take a score, he will take a run, or able to accelerate, or when to what kind of bowlers he has to face, whether to accelerate or not. All those things are possible because of his concentration. That means he is able to identify what is the signal and what is the noise as regards to the goal or the outcome. So that's the business or personal thing he is able to contribute. Now let's move on to Diego Maradona. He is one of the world's best or the greatest footballer, forward, left footy, and he is from Argentina, and he was able to create magic in the football field. Football and cricket, not they don't generally go together, in the sense that it's very difficult to have a common fan for both cricket and football, because football is dynamic, very fast, 90 minutes. So in that 90 minutes, let's see what Maradona does. He is able to control the speed, still holding the ball, and as we discussed in Sachin's case, the maneuverability of himself as well as the ball, he is able to coordinate. Second, at any position in the field, he will be able to see the goal post, not the full goal post, the goal post to the extent of the size of the ball. He needs to push it through. Whether you have a goalkeeper in the front, or you have a lot of opponents in the front, or people, his teammates surrounding him to get or to help him, still he is able to see the goal as to the size of the ball which it can go through. That's the magical power he has, and he was able to see that ball size goal from wherever he is. That's the greatest specialty. And the way he does the practice is not just on field, he also does it on off field, in the sense that he practices on a sunny day, he practices on a rainy day, because the rules are there. Like unless the ball is floating, the play is always on. So even if it rains, slightly muddy, or in whatever situation, so he practices for every situation that is possible in a football game. The energy and dynamics, obviously, it means that his physical and mental fitness, and not only that, the jubilation he has in doing that, that you would have seen in practicing sessions. The brain, eye, and head coordination. So wherever he is moving, whatever speed he is moving, whoever there he is surrounded with, all these three will be in sync so that he was able to execute the ball exactly to the speed, the direction, and the spin, whatever in the football terminologies. So he was able to do that. Now let's look at the values or traits in the personal as well as in the business side of it. Controlling the speed is obviously, as a ownership, he has got as a forward to score goals. That is what the driving factor which keeps him pushing to score goals. Viewing the goalpost from any direction is he knows how to score a goal rather than giving excuses why he could not do or he could not score a goal. So managing outcome was his foremost thinking, and not just managing the excuses why he was not able to score or why opponent has scored. The off-field practice, the kind of preparation he has got, that means he knows how to score a goal under different conditions against the different opponents in different kinds of fields. So that kind of practice, that's where the skill and the mastery comes. And the kind of energy he has got with the dynamics is obviously, he knows that it is a joy playing. He never felt that it was a problem, or he never felt that it was a stress to play. Never he felt that. He always played with dynamics against any participant for that matter, or opponent for that matter. So that is the spirit, and he always played with a different set of fields, team players from the same Argentine team. Okay, the other point on the brain eye head coordination, he practices all these things, including the rate at which he has to hit the ball in terms of its speed, that is the momentum. He understands how the balls work, how the balls fly in the air, etc. All these things he is able to do that because of the practice, and he never ceases to practice. At any given day, before the match or on a regular basis, he always does that. So having discussed about these two great players, what is the message we are going to discuss today? We discussed about the knowns and unknowns in four combinations. Mostly, known knowns may not have that kind of a difficulty or challenge, and you don't require that level of things. But in a business, it is not always known. You will have a different combination of unknowns getting in. So start anticipating. If you are in a sales, anticipate for the unexpected things. You may think that the client will sign, or the customer or a prospect would sign a deal tomorrow. It might not happen. There could be a delay or could be some more questions, and it drags on. Anticipate for that. You think that in a software development things will be over, but you can't expect all the team members to deliver on the same pace at the same result all the time. So you expect certain things. In case of manufacturing, for example, or there is a movable part you are trying to do, then always expect a wear and tear and a breakdown. In case you are dependent on government policies or laws, you always expect that there could be a relatively sudden change in the policy because of the global economic scenario. So like that, there could be different scenarios depending upon your goal, depending upon the plans you have. So anticipation in the business is absolutely required. The other one is the diligence. People say that no, you don't need to be perfect, but you will never know whether you are perfect or not in the first place. So always you are in the pursuit of perfection, and whatever you believe as a perfection, I think you should try to do that, even if you don't know whether it is really perfect in that sense. But whatever you believe as a perfect, towards that you should strive and deliver or plan or do your work in that space. Even if you do that, the possibility of you getting the required outcome probably will be 90% or 80%. Don't think that no, all the inputs will get translated to the 100% of the output. There will be some loss in the transition process from input to output. That's the processing loss that will be always there. Focus on the goals. We discussed about the goals in the first few videos itself. So you should know what is the disturbance. When Maradona runs through with the ball, he knows that who is there to assist and who is there to stop him moving further, or stop or get the ball out of his way. So you should know what is the disturbance, what is the signal, what is the noise, and it's possible to eliminate. Please eliminate the noise or the disturbance, or at least avoid it. So successful outcomes is the ideal, but at least you should have an outcome, whether it is success or a failure. But at least try to work for the outcome. So obviously you will try to work for the successful outcome. Sorry. The other point which you have to always remember is that you have to allow yourself to be taught. When Sachin started playing, or Maradona started playing, or any player for that matter started playing, you should be allowing yourself to be molded. As we say in chemistry, it's malleable and ductile. The same way, you should allow yourself to be taught, molded, groomed. So then only when the coach says something, or when a business consultant says something, or your manager says something, you will be in a position to understand. Otherwise, it's a shut door. So then it becomes a stressful effort. Then the whole thing will go for a toss once stress gets into play. The other message I want to give you is that on concentration. So focus on the work, the plan, the tools we discussed, and the process which we will be discussing down the line. The technique comes only by understanding a good amount of knowledge in the area which you are trying to do. You may be in manufacturing, you may be in R&D, you may be in sales, you may be in trading, you may be in e-commerce. Try to understand the dynamics using the knowledge in which you are trying to play, the skill required for that, and the combination of knowledge and skill how to apply. That application is going to make all the difference. Practice without cessation, or for a different situation or the different times. Each is a game you are going to play. Business is a game in that sense. For that matter, life is a game in that sense. So anticipate the dynamics. The dynamics could be, is not just one day, it could be lifelong, because that's a change we talked about in the earlier videos. The change is always there, and it is the dynamics. So if you are going to be part of that space, then you have to anticipate, you have to follow the dynamics rule and play out according to that. Otherwise, your mind will look at every situation as a problem, and you feel all the negative things like depression, etc., and you will be isolated in life. So don't get into that space. Take it as a ownership. Try to complete. One of the important thing is that all these things are possible if your body and mind is fully fit and alert. That's where the coordination comes between all organs in the body and how you are going to deal with the external world. So with that, I am concluding this video. But remember that the cardinal rules we discussed, the 3 cardinal rules we discussed, why you are doing all that, that's where it is going to make all the difference. See you in the next video. Till then, Have a nice day. Cheers. Bye.